Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Free Flick, your build-up interviews to the FISTF World Cup in Tunbridge Wells, the home of Subbuteo. We've been around the world already. We've spoken to Australia, but we're coming back and going the other way this time. We're heading to Brazil to talk to Daniel to see how their prep is going. So without any further ado, let's head over and chat with Daniel and find out whether he's ready for the 21st and 22nd of September. Let's go.
What's up, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you, Daniel?
I'm good.
I'm good. What time is it out in Brazil? 4 o'clock, did you say?
It's 3 o'clock actually. We're 4 hours ahead behind you guys.
Okay. Nice weekend?
Yeah, it's nice. We're having a barbecue here, having some beers.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's pretty nice.
Well, I won't keep you too long then. Half hour max. I'll let you get back to the barbecue because food's important in
No,
my
that's fine. It's I told people here it's something important, so it's okay. That's nice.
So let's get down to it really quick. Are you looking forward to the World Cup?
I mean, uh, it's like the birthplace of Subbuteo. It's like the spiritual home of the game. We're so stoked to have it. It's
So
been
does
like,
it mean that much in Brazil to be playing in Tunbridge Wells? It wouldn't make a difference if it was England. It's the fact that it's Tunbridge Wells.
yes. For us, it's huge because it's Tunbridge Wells. I mean, we've been playing Subbuteo for FISTF for 15 years right now. So it would be the second time we have a full team in the World Cup. First time was in 2014 in Rochefort. So for us, it's pretty important for us to have a team. We're trying to get a team like for a couple of years, and we're trying to find some people who are willing to go. We're trying to get people who are trying to assemble a team properly. Then we got the guys wanting to go, and we were pretty excited about the whole thing, about the venue, about the city, about it's probably going to be the biggest World Cup ever in terms of nations and players. So we're very, very excited that we're going.
So is this the first? This is the first World Cup Brazil's come to, is it? Or
It's as a team, it's the second time. The first one was in 2014,
oh, okay. So
and for me personally, it's going to be my third. I've been to Italy in 2015 and France in 2017, so it's my third World Cup right now.
so you're on the reserve list for the Open, aren't you? I noticed that.
Yeah, but I think there's going to be an opening because we've seen there a couple of withdrawals, so I probably might slide into the main draw. So I guess I might play.
Your main role is you're the chair or the president of the Brazilian Association, right?
Uh, Actually, I'm. It's a bit different because yeah, Subbuteo is not the main kind of table football we have in Brazil. Like
It's that
if
I know. It's like the
yeah.
slidey one, isn't it, with the coins?
Yeah, it's we call it button table football, right? Because just like Subbuteo, when the first bases were made of button coats, so
Mhm.
that's what my dad played back in the day. They would steal his mom's button coats, and they would play on the top of the table, just like the earliest Subbuteo players. And so it's button football that we call it. So button football basically as old as Subbuteo. The uh, first organized championships of button football were like in 1920 something.
Wow. So it's predating to be.
So yeah, so it's pretty old, just as old as Subbuteo. So we've been playing for quite a while now, and that's basically what I grew up playing. The CBFM, which is the Brazilian Confederation, uh, gets all the rules and what we call the international rules. And that means Subbuteo, that means sector ball, which is one of the rules that's playing in Hungary, and football chapas, which is playing in Spain, Portugal, in Argentina, and Uruguay.
So this
So
Subbuteo is kind of like a subcategory of table
yes,
football in Brazil.
yes.
Okay. So
So I'm the technical director for Subio in Brazil.
yeah.
So I'm basically in charge of Subbuteo in Brazil, but I'm not elected as a board member because this is an appointment of the president. So since I'm like one of the few guys who play exclusively Subbuteo. So I'm in charge of Subbuteo in Brazil, but I'm not elected. I'm appointed by the president.
Okay. So what's it like trying to drive and build the game out in Brazil? Because I think at the World Cup, you guys, apart from Australia and some of the guys in Asia, you're traveling the furthest, especially from that side of the world. So
Yes.
it's not the biggest place for Subbuteo, we know that. How do you
Yep.
drive it and build it and try and get people involved in it?
This is the hard part, actually. Bigger, the biggest difficulty that we have in Brazil is it's getting equipment. Like,
Yeah, I can imagine.
if you think, um, if you take, let's say, a pitch, right, an extreme works pitch. Let's pretend it goes for like I don't know, 100 quid right now.
Yeah,
I think that's the price of an extreme works
yeah,
pitch.
and some.
It's like 700 reais, which is our currency.
Mhm.
It's a lot of money. So
Yeah,
basically, it's like very expensive for us to build.
it's
And the problem is, let's pretend you're, say, in Greece, and you go to Astro Base and you order some figures, you order some bases, some footballs and stuff, and it gets into your home in a couple of weeks, and etc. If you buy something from abroad, it's going to take like 2 months to arrive in your house. It
yeah.
takes like forever because the courier system is not very good here. Our mail is just terrible. And right now they're like the custom fees for anything you buy abroad, it's like it basically doubles the price. So
Really.
for us it's very, very expensive to buy stuff for Subbuteo. So either you bring stuff in a trip from abroad, or you have to make your own stuff in here.
So will
So
you do
that's
that when
that's
you come over? Will you buy stuff and take it back with you?
I probably will get some stuff, probably a couple of pitches, maybe some bases. Uh, there's some manufacturers who understand where we are, and they give us some bases so we can like donate them to poorer players.
Oh, that's good.
So we can, yeah. And one player who's helped us a lot in this process was Daniel Sheen from
Yep.
Belgium.
No.
He's donated bases for us like 2 times already. So we've already donated like 20 sets of bases from Daniel Sheen to help increase the game.
Yeah.
And he also helped Chile in the past. He sent some bases to Chile.
Brilliant.
So yeah, so you have to recognize his effort to help us grow the game as well.
How often do you guys get together and play? Because you're a big country. It's
Yes,
not like us over here where we can drive for a couple of hours and we're at the other side of it
yeah.
and we can play. For you guys, it's a long way. How do you get together and play?
We play essentially like 2 or 3 times a year, and not more than that, because as you say, the country is pretty big. It's not easy to drive, and the second difficulty is most of our players also play button football,
Oh, okay.
and the calendar for button football is essentially jammed with lots of events. So this is a huge problem because essentially you're playing like at least once a month button football. Uh, and in some sort of competitions. So it, and most of our players they try to play more often button football because that's what they play like since forever.
Yeah. So
And
how did you get into? Did you get into Subbuteo from button football, or did you know about Subbuteo before?
this is an interesting question. As you guys know, we had Telebol here in Brazil in the late 70s, right? And when I was small, I was like 4 years or something. I'd play button football a lot, but my dad went to England. He went to a work trip, and he stopped at Hamleys, I guess,
Yeah.
and he got me a set. Like, remember? I don't know if you guys remember those that had like a sponge ball.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I've
So
got a
so
couple
my
up there. Yes.
Yeah, so my dad got me one of those with the sponge ball. So I started playing when I was like 4, me and my brother. I played for a while, but essentially the figures they started to break because Subbuteo, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And essentially the game died for me. Like I stopped playing everything. When I went to college, I stopped playing button football as well. And And one day, I'm a Vasco da Gama fan, right?
Okay.
Which is one of the most famous clubs in Rio.
Yep.
And there's one of the websites that covers the team. They try to give news of any of the sports that the club plays, and bowling, table football, table tennis, and etc. And I'd always be reading news on stuff like on button football, and also I started reading about Subbuteo and was like, Subbuteo? Like, really? You guys are playing the game I played when I was a kid, like 20
Yeah.
years plus, and was like, wow. So it was 2012, I guess, or something like that. Then I got my first teams, and I started playing back then.
Okay. So let's get down to the World Cup. We know you're
Right.
into it. Let's get on to the World Cup. Let's talk business. How are Brazil going to do?
I think we're that's a tough question actually. It basically depends on who we're playing, right?
Always.
But we think that we have a pretty good team. Probably it's one of the best teams that we can assemble. Um, we got Fred Elisbaum. I guess you guys know Fred, right?
Yeah, no,
Fred
Fred.
is an experienced player. He was born in Brazil, but he's been like in Germany for a while now, and
Yeah.
he trains on a regular basis. He goes to events, so he's probably at this point he's probably our most experienced player.
Okay.
We've got Marcelo Lages, which is the first guy who played in a World Cup for Brazil in 2009 in Rotterdam. So he's like a very experienced player. And we've got me. I got some international experience, but uh, it's the biggest problem is we don't have high level events, right? This is our
Gotcha.
biggest issue. And we've got Renato Souza, which he's making his international debut.
Okay.
So, but it's an experienced team. I think we can try to win some matches. We're trying to get, as Fred says, we're gonna try to give some people some bloody noses.
Well, that's the thing. You guys are really hard for anyone to sort of say, "Oh, we know what Brazil are like," because, like you said, you don't get to play against people that often. So
Yeah,
you're almost a bit of a banana skin, I suppose, for a lot of people. That people will probably go into games, and no offense, people will go into games thinking they're going to beat you, but where they've never played you, they're probably you could turn up. You know what I mean? You could have a real result.
yeah. We might surprise some people.
I hope so. Is it going to be Brazilian style Subbuteo? We're going to see like the old Brazilian style football translated onto the Subbuteo pitch, or is it traditional Subbuteo you're going to play? We're not going to see any extra flair or anything like that.
I think we play slightly different from what we see from European matches.
Okay.
I think we try to up the markers a little bit. I think we go a little bit more up tempo in the opposite pitch, but I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Not going to see any back heels, flicks, headers, that sort of stuff.
Let's try to do some stuff. Who knows?
I'd love to see it. I'd absolutely love to see it. Who's Brazil's biggest rival in Subbuteo? Is it another South American country or would it be America?
Argentina,
Argentina.
Argentina.
It's always
Yes,
Argentina.
we've been playing South American Championship since 2010, I guess.
Okay.
I think so.
Who's the
And it's
current, who's
been
the
always
current,
a pretty intense
current champion?
rivalry,
Sorry. Who's the current South
right?
American champion?
Brazil.
Good. Sorry, go on. I
Yeah.
interrupted.
So we've been playing the South American Championship since 2010, and Argentina is another is a problem in the sense that they're going through a very difficult economic time.
Mhm.
So it's getting very difficult for them to travel abroad
Yep.
right now. So unfortunately, sometimes we invite them to come over to Brazil, so we play, so we do a Grand Prix or something.
Mhm.
But sometimes they just can't afford plane tickets for that.
Yeah.
Like they're in really bad financial shape right now. But it's always been really fun to play them. They're good friends of us, although they're rivals. But the Argentina folks, they're really really nice people.
It's a
But
shame
they
they
remain
can't make it to
rivals.
the World Cup. It's a shame they can't make
Yeah,
it to the
yeah,
World Cup. It really
it
is.
is.
So who else plays in South America? What other countries would get together for the championships and that?
We got some guys in Chile who play,
Okay, you
right?
said that before.
There's one guy. He's Italian. His name is Flavio Ricomagno. He played in. I think he played for Stella Artois in Milano some years ago,
Okay,
and he moved to Chile. I think it was like 2017 or something. And he played some Subbuteo with some guys in Valparaiso, which is a small city just south of Santiago. And there's also a guy. He's a priest, right?
okay,
He yeah. And the thing is, he's like in charge of a school. He's Brazilian, and he's in charge of a school. There's a city called Antofagasta, which is in north of Chile. And Antofagasta actually is a city that it's a mining city, and they lots of people in there they need spiritual support. So this guy went to Antofagasta to provide spiritual support for the kids. And as I said, he's Brazilian, and he played um, mostly button football. But what happened was after the 2015 South American Championship, which was held in Antofagasta, he started teaching kids Subbuteo in Antofagasta as well. So,
oh, okay.
uh,
So there-
so
there's a young
basically,
group.
yeah, it's a young group. So mostly kids from the school where he's
Oh,
in charge.
it sounds like there needs to be a lot of work done in South America to try and help,
Yes,
not just promote the game, because it seems like you guys are doing it really well, but it's getting money so people can travel and play.
yes, absolutely. I think the biggest thing that we need right now is gear, like all sorts of gear, pitches, footballs, bases, goalkeepers, you name it.
Yeah,
That's what we need the most. We need a guy like a Paul Wise, who's like building
yeah,
his own 3D printed bases. We need
yeah.
a store of Paul Wise so there we can start something.
Well, let's
We
hope people are listening and bring some stuff to the World Cup, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And then, for instance, we have in São Paulo, there's an industry who sells a pitch which is very, very similar to the Astro pitch.
Yeah.
So we can make our own pitches, not rubber back, but it's playable. It's not the same
Yeah.
thing, but it's doable. But what we actually need is bases, goalkeepers, and footballs. That's our biggest need if we want to grow the game.
Okay. Well, hopefully, there's people listening and they think that and they see you at the World Cup and they can donate some bits to South America so we can grow the game a little bit more out there.
Yeah, it would be huge for us. Our confederation understands as a whole, like we need to grow the game, button football, and all the rules that we have. And every once in a while, they try to make some charity, and they try to try to convince people to give their old teams away.
Yep.
So people sometimes we send them to poor regions in the country, so
Brilliant.
we can get people start playing button football as well. So yeah, it's something that we
That
do
was
on a
Subio
regular
too.
basis.
Fantastic. So, oh God, my voice is gone. How's your training routine going? What are you doing training wise for the World Cup?
Right now, I'm trying to get mostly working on the basics right now. Like I like to train the basics, like gliding, controlling, shooting, etc. And I get like some matches with some friends, with my brother, and I get my 14-year-old son to play a little bit with me. Sometimes it's hard to convince him because he prefers to play video games.
Yeah,
That's our
yeah,
like our biggest rival right now.
that it
So
is.
that's my routine at this point. I wish I could be getting more games, but I'm a doctor, so my routine is a bit crowded. So I can't.
Busy, I guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty busy most of the year, so I can't take a lot of time off. I'd like to, one day to be able to play in a place like Mons or something, or maybe Bologna, one of the majors. But my life is a bit busy, so I just can't
You
like
know.
travel all that much.
So, when do you land in Tunbridge Wells?
I think I'm getting in London on Wednesday. I think.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's Wednesday. So I'm staying a couple of days in London because I have a brother-in-law who lives in London,
Okay, nice.
and I'm getting in Tunbridge Wells on Friday morning.
Okay, so
Uh,
the jet lag
I
be there
told,
still?
huh?
Will the jet lag still be there, or will it be gone?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a little bit. I'm an early bird, so I'd say it's not gonna be a huge problem, I guess. But uh, maybe 2 hours might be a problem. I think it was worse when I played in Italy in 2015 because I landed in Milan and I got a train to San Benedetto and it was like 6 hours away by
Yeah,
train or
okay.
something.
I hear that.
So it was way worse actually. But I think I'll be fine.
Okay, so you're in. So you get to Tunbridge Wells on the Friday. We start.
Yes.
We start on the Saturday. Are you hanging around in Tunbridge Wells to have a look at any of the Subbuteo sites, or are you just playing and then getting out of town and back to Brazil?
No, actually, I'm gonna be I'm arriving early on Friday. Then I think I told Alan and Lee that I'm going to help a little bit on the venue because I think you guys gonna need some hands in there.
Did I saw it
And
in the group
as
chat?
yeah, and as a FISTF representative, I'm gonna help on the draw because a FISTF representative has to be overlooking it.
Yep. So is that you? Are you going to be the one in the draw
Yeah,
done on the Friday
yeah,
afternoon before it goes
yeah,
out public in the evening?
exactly. And then there's probably gonna be the events like on Friday night, right?
Yeah, looking forward. Very much looking forward to that. I think that's a really exciting
Yes.
way to do the draw. How we're doing it this year. Hopefully, I don't know how much we can say because I don't know if it's been announced publicly yet. Hopefully, it will by the time this goes out. But obviously, the way we're going to do the draw, announcing it, just announcing the groups, it'll get through it a lot quicker than it has done in the past. But I think it's quite exciting. Is my name coming out the envelope next?
Yeah, I have some experience doing draws in Brazilian championships on button football, and sometimes when you have like those very big events, it gets really boring
Yeah,
if you do like online, and so you need to make have a way to make it a faster one.
yeah.
So I agree with the way it's going to be done.
I'm actually really looking forward to that Friday night. I think that'd be really fun to get a lot of people together in the Amelia in Tunbridge Wells, where they've got a big exhibition
Yes,
there as well of Subbuteo stuff. So that should be a really, really good evening.
I'm anxious. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be really good. Look, before I let you go, because you are at a barbecue and my kids are now
Yeah,
banging,
I,
wanted to get to
uh,
me as well. But before we go, I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions that I've asked to everyone else so far as well. So no thinking about it. The first thing that comes into your head, okay? So
right.
who's your favorite opponent to play?
My favorite opponent is my Brazilian squad teammate Marcelo Ramalhete. He's my favorite player to play against. He's the most experienced guy we have here in Brazil, so he's my favorite opponent to play.
Okay. Who's the player you most want to avoid playing?
Christophe Der,
Okay, how come? Why?
because I think he's amazing. I think Christophe Der is like amazing player, and he'd probably beat the crap out of me. So
To trying to dodge him. What's the
yeah,
biggest score you've ever done in a FISTF event?
on a festive event, I've done 5-0 once in a international open here in Brazil.
Okay. What's your biggest loss?
Should I say that? It was in 2017 World Cup. I got hammered like pretty badly. It was like 9-0 or something.
Oh, I've
So,
had worse. So yeah, that's not that bad because some of the
oh,
squad
really?
team, that's all right. You've done all right. What's your most memorable win in a FISTF event?
My most memorable win on a festive events, I'd say it was we had the South American Championships in Rosario in 2014. And we were playing. Vasco was playing Rosario in the team event, and we were drawing, and we got like a goal like with 1 minute to go when we defeated Rosario on goal difference. So it probably was the most exciting one we had.
Okay. What's the funniest moment you've had in Subbuteo?
The funniest one moment in Suburio was like um, just as a disclaimer, in button football, you can't talk at all. Like it's a silent game.
Really?
Yeah. There's no screaming. There's no
Wow.
talking. There's nothing. There's no celebrations. There's nothing.
Okay.
And in Subbuteo, we celebrate goals and stuff.
Yes.
and I was playing in São Paulo with a guy. His name is Ronaldo, and I was beating him 1-0. And he scored me a goal. He tied the game, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" And he was like, everybody was looking at him, was super embarrassed. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I said, it's okay, man. It's Subbuteo. You can do that because we're used to not celebrating that. That's okay.
Excellent. So you guys are going to be the quietest people when you score goals and win because you're used to being quiet for button football.
Probably not. I'd say probably not because Fred already knows. Already know how the game
Yeah,
is, and I also know how the Subbuteo reality is. So it's
yeah.
not going to be a problem for me.
Excellent.
And we got Renato Souza. He is of Italian descent, so we usually
Oh,
say that the guys, the Brazilians who are from Italian descent, they usually have uh, like warm blood, so they celebrate. They're pretty loud guys as well. So
unbelievably loud. Yeah.
I don't think there's gonna be a problem.
Brilliant. So, all right, let's move on, get a bit deeper. What would you rather? Would you rather a last second winner or to win a game on shots?
Last second winner.
Okay. Controversial question, especially with you being on the FISTF board as well. Is it Subbuteo or sports table soccer?
It's a Subbuteo, whatever.
Okay, okay.
I like I love the name. It's ingrained in our personality. So sports tables football. It's just because we can't afford to pay royalties
Yeah,
to Hasbro. So
very
the
true.
name is Subbuteo. So
Okay. Would you rather play in the team event or the individual?
I think the team event is it's interesting. It's pretty interesting. You're playing with a teammate. So I prefer the team event.
And on that one, would you rather win the individual event but lose in the final of the team? Or would you rather win the team but you lose in the final of the individual?
Win the team for
Yeah.
sure.
Everyone's
Yeah,
said that so far.
yeah. Win the team.
I need to find someone selfish who wants to win it for himself.
No, we. I think it's hard work. When you start looking at team events, yeah, and you see how hard everybody works, and the coaches work hard, and everybody like gives their best. So it's a group event. So it's like you're crowning your work together. So team events is the best one.
It is when the media have got in touch with me saying they want to come down one day. What day should we come down on the Saturday or the Sunday? I'm always come down on the Sunday because the team event's the one. That's where all the passion is. It's great.
Yeah, I think the team events is the greatest one.
It is. It's brilliant. Daniel, look, thank you so much for joining me, taking the time out of your day to come and have a chat. It's been a pleasure. I really look forward to hooking up with you on the Friday night when we do or announce the draw as such for the events
It's
Saturday and Sunday.
my
Good luck
pleasure.
with your training. Keep it going. Safe journeys when you get over here, and I'll see you very soon. All right. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Means so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I'll see you
I'll
soon.
see
Bye-bye.
you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.